What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of No Client Agent Privilege, aka No Cap Podcast. Your boy Evan, your boy Will. We are back into the Tiki Hut for another episode of No Client Agent Privilege, and ball is
Football.
back. Yeah, I would say
Sports.
sport. No, we're really just football now.
Football.
We are really just football now. So
the time has arrived.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I feel like even the pro football, the Hall of Fame game was like a teaser. It was like, oh, come on now, give it to me, come on, yeah. Just playing with my emotions right now. So I think finally after this week of preseason and actually watching some guys play, legit football and legit fight for roster spots, you can definitely see. I think that's one thing the casual fan doesn't understand when it comes to preseason. Like, yeah, we know that the quality sometimes starts to fall off come third, fourth quarter. But at the same time, it's like those guys are the second and third stringers that are just fighting to keep their roster spot, just fighting to make the practice squad. So it's like watching it from the agent perspective, I'm watching it. I'm looking like my client's better than them. I'm going to call them tomorrow. He just got hurt. Well, let's make a call. So it's like I'm watching it in a different capacity that the normal average Joe fan just wants to see football. So I laugh what'd they say about Shador? They were like, oh, he had such a great game, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's like, oh, I've never seen a second stringer, third stringer get so much love behind, And I'm like, but it's funny to me because when I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, they're using it for trade bait. Like, they're using it, they wanted him to start, so they have a good reason to trade him away, to send him to somebody that they could actually get some good compensation for, because all they're going to say is, well, why would I trade that for a fourth-round draft pick? Because they drafted him so low. So kind of a double-edged sword that they drafted him so far behind versus, if they would have taken him maybe like late second or third, early third, he might, the draft compensation could be a little bit more.
Right.
So, just kind of interesting to kind of see how with these preseason games, especially losing a preseason game, the cuts are bigger. And really, it's like one of those things where when you talk the business side, adding an extra week and taking an extra week away of preseason, the guys that kind of fill out your roster makes it harder for them.
It's way more cutthroat.
Yeah,
and then you see things like, I forget exactly who was playing, but the two teams, was it Detroit and someone else, they ran out to 14
Falcons.
minutes?
Yeah.
Which, I get, and that's great. I love that. But you're also kind of taking away from players that are fighting for roster spots.
Agreed. And I think that's
same thing with injuries in preseason. Someone's fighting for a roster spot and they get injured. We've seen a few of those. Somebody snapped their leg.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, saw that.
And a few other injuries where obviously they were just visibly frustrated.
Of course.
And you make it to the doorstep and you still get.
Yeah, you're right there, and you're still, something just knocks you out.
Yeah.
And I think that is one thing where it's like, is it raining?
Yeah, we can keep pushing.
I mean,
we're
not getting wet. I mean, the Seminoles lived under these things for 1,000 years without getting wet from a hurricane, so I think we'll be all right.
Nah, it's 10 minutes of rain.
Okay.
Light rain. Yeah,
anyways. So, yeah, I mean, again, from this perspective of where you view, the legitimacy of our preseason games, you're just, again, you're more so looking for those guys that are going to fill the roster, that are going to be not necessarily the role player, because in basketball it's a little bit different. But the guys who can make a play, guys that when their number is called will be ready. So that's what you're truly looking for in that sense. So it is a big deal for some of these guys and some of these players that, like we said, the injuries happen. That's part of the game. It does suck seeing stuff like that happen. And again, you brought up a valid point. What if those 14 minutes, somebody had a pick six, somebody returned a punt, guys that are trying to, finish out those rosters. It goes from, I believe it's 95 or 90 to 65 right away for the first cut. That's a huge cut.
After the first game?
After the first game. Or the second game, one or the other. Because it goes
from... Was it 3 weeks of preseason?
Yeah. And usually, I believe it was 95 to 80, or 90 to 75, 75 to 60 something. And then you make your last cuts that last preseason game. So it's those 4 games made a difference on the roster size. Now you just go from 90 to like 60. You know, it's like crazy cut. It's like a huge, like a 20-person cut because of how big. So weak, you know, taking away that.
Tough.
Yeah.
It's tough for
and
sure.
honestly speaking, depending on your few weeks there of training camp, you kind of know where you sit. Like as much as a player wants to be optimistic and wants to make something happen in a preseason game, if his number doesn't get called or the opportunity doesn't present himself in the game, you kind of just shit out of luck at the end of the game. Like at the end of the point,
You know, preseason camp and all that. It's just.
I mean, even looking at it from
hit or miss.
Yeah. I mean, that, what if your
team,
intended. Well, that, and even if your team with like starters that actually want to play and stuff, like I understand the first game, like Joe Burrow and Chase, like they both played like a good chunk of like the first drive and everything. And then there's like Caleb Williams who didn't play. It's like,
whatever.
Okay. Like, why would you do that? Like, I don't know. I look at one of the highest paid quarterback duos in the league playing the first preseason game.
Right.
And Caleb Williams and his fingernail polish on the sideline. I don't get
gotta keep them pretty, you know?
I guess, but it's again one of those things where when we're talking about guys that are looking at roster spots, they're like trying to, get some work in or watch some of the best. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, are you trying to tell me that Caleb Williams is too good to play in a pre? Is that what we're really saying right now? Like, okay, all right,
yeah,
whatever.
It's his second year too. He probably should.
A new offensive coordinator, a new head coach.
Well, none of the starters played for the Bears except one left tackle. I think left tackle.
That's a bold move.
And they have a whole new offensive line. So, like, that's the whole point. Where it's like you should probably get some snaps in
for sure
before the season starts.
100%. At least a little bit.
I'm not saying to play the whole game.
At least a little bit. Couple. I mean, just a few reps. I mean, even one drive, just like Joe Burrow and Chase did. Right. Just one drive. That's it.
On the topic of quarterbacks, I wrote a little list before this episode today, and you can tell me where you agree and disagree. But the top 10 quarterbacks. This is my version. Josh Allen at 1.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson at 2. Mahomes at 3.
Okay.
Joe Burrow at 4. Jalen Hurts at 5. Jared Goff at 6. Justin Herbert at 7. Jaden Daniels at 8. Baker Mayfield at 9.
Okay.
And then 10 is really dealer's choice. I want to say Sam Darnold because he had a tremendous season last season, statistically speaking.
Right.
14-3 with the Vikings. Obviously, the playoff success wasn't there, but
right.
Most people would probably say Dak Prescott, but maybe only because of how much he's getting paid. I mean, he hasn't really done shit. And then, you could throw Brock Purdy in there or Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
So everyone 10th is a toss-up, but I'm going to say Sam Darnold. So, however you feel about the list, if you want to weigh in.
For me, I'm still, when we talk top quarterback, what is your top 3 credentials of it? Like, what are you looking at that says that they're the best?
Right, that's a good question.
Where do you compare?
I'd say,
hit me, because then I'll go.
Well, it's like a holistic thing, but your arm strength, accuracy, if you can run the ball.
Okay. So you're talking more physical attributions of the quarterback
but also the other side of it. I don't want to just go off rings because I don't really like ring culture and all that. So obviously people would say Mahomes is the best just based off that. But
if we're saying arm strength and quarterback talent, you could throw Joe Milton in there for that. Physical aspects.
Proven.
Agreed. But what I mean is if we're talking comparables, so even you take that into consideration, okay, the difference between Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes has gotten away from running. That's where him and Josh Allen kind of differ on that side. And then also, Pat Mahomes, again, you could call him Josh Allen's kryptonite because it somehow, some way, it ends up bouncing their way in the playoffs. So,
I don't disagree.
Between Lamar, I love Lamar, and I I mean, most of the time the losses truly don't fall on him, but like when you have the MVP caliber title around you and name around you, you kind of have to take over. I've just, like tell, Harbaugh, like don't leave it up to the defense. I know we're known for our defense, but let me have the ball. Like let me finish this game. Kind of like a Tom Brady. Like if the defense gets scored on, Tom's like, make sure we have enough time. Like I'm not saying he said let them score, but he's like, hey, let's make sure that we have enough time so I can go score. So I think maybe with regards, you can go with the top three that you just said. You can go any route. Now, you could really have an
I guess it really depends on the attributes you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, it's like, could you say Josh Allen's number one? Sure, definitely can. If you're talking physical attributions, I mean, the only thing Lamar probably has is a little bit shiftier and a little bit top speed faster. But when you talk about somebody who's going to run somebody over, Josh Allen's going to be there. Who's got a stronger arm? Probably Josh Allen by a little. But the ticky-tacky part of it is truly the hardest part of where we sit in the descriptions of who's number one. So, and then once you get down to the Joe Burrows and Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff, won playoff games, won Super Bowls, have had great receivers, great defenses.
Jalen Hurts is down there just because of the fact that, I mean, statistically speaking, on that note, like he doesn't really like.
Well, they were one of the lowest throwing teams in the nation in the NFL last year.
Sure,
but that's what they're known for. They're known for running the ball, which is completely okay. But it does take away from the quarterback aspect of, does he change the game on the passing side? Sure, because when he does make the passes, he does hit. So it's like, but it's limited towards, instead of throwing 250 plus yards a game, he's throwing 150, running for 75, and then handing it off to Saquon for 3 touchdowns.
Or he's scoring a couple.
Or he's got 1 or 2.
Well. Which helps the fantasy.
Right, exactly. So again, what kind of quarterback attributions are you looking at to kind of build that model of who's number one? That's your biggest key. And I mean, again, at this point, that top 5, you could technically go and argue at any. You could. I mean, after last season, you could truly go out and argue any of those being 1 to 3, 2 to 5. However it is. If you really get into the nitty gritty, you could go by the statistics and the analytics and stuff like that. And really, QBR is, I guess you could say, the standard for where we're looking at quarterback. So it's very tempting to just say, well, who has the highest QBR? That's your bread and butter right there. So that's it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, that might be true. It might be the best way to evenly look at it, but the fan bases could tell you differently, and playoffs win could tell you differently. So it's really just dependent, again, what your criteria is for that QB1 spot for them, and truly seeing what's going to happen this season, because a lot of these guys are going to be, are you worth the money after the season? Like you said, like Dak Prescott might be sitting at 10, but if Parsons doesn't come back and they go, let's say 8-8, what am I paying you for?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know the Eagles ain't going 8-8, so I know that with that team that they have, that they'll have the ability to, if they can't go better than 8-8, or Dallas can't go better than 8, they're going to be fighting for a wild card spot at the bare minimum, or at the maximum, honestly speaking. So, I mean, again, could you say Tua, Stafford, Purdy, that's a system quarterback, blah, blah, blah. Darnold, only got good because of, luck of the draw. The end of the schedule was, up sub 500 teams the last 8 games, or, whatever it is you want to say. There's always, you could say, asterisk by some of these guys' names. But again, to what extent do you create your QBR1 based off, it's really up to grabs. You
like Baker in the top 10? Think he belongs there?
I see an argument for it. I mean, why not? I mean, you could definitely say Baker's a top 10 to 8 quarterback. Sure, why not? I mean, I wouldn't even say Jaden Daniels. I mean, Jaden Daniels has only proven 1 year. I mean, I could say Baker's still a little bit higher than him, and Justin too. I mean, what has Justin really truly proven out in I almost said San Diego, in LA with the Chargers? He's still injury prone. He's still trying to figure it out. I mean, I know he's got Harbaugh for a second season, so it could be interesting to see how that connection is, because we've known John Harbaugh to really I mean, J.J. McCarthy is a perfect example of what a system quarterback comes out of for him. So
you think McCarthy and the Vikings? You think they're gonna have not
I mean,
we're not gonna say the same success, but you think
I think my
12,
biggest
12-5?
no, I think they'll
10-7?
Now, I was gonna say I'll probably stick to more of a 10-7, maybe 11 wins. I mean, again, I think the biggest thing is we truly did not get a good enough sample size of JJ last year to really give him the benefit of the doubt that he can't make this work for this team. Because even when you look at Sam Darnold, who's not as strong, not as fast, not as athletic, good veteran quarterback though, look what he did. So imagine if JJ kind of hits his stride in the middle of the season. I mean, I'm not too worried about the Bears right now. Packers got a lot of shit going on. So other than knowing I got to go through Detroit to make it happen, I mean, I don't know. I could feel pretty confident if I'm JJ going, yeah, bare
They
minimum.
probably won't win the division just because of Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you get, if you get good enough, I mean, like I said, if you hit that stride and you get into the Thanksgiving break and everything, and all of a sudden you're really fluid. Who knows where JJ can lead you? I mean, so there are some things, and obviously an injury like that, never really truly know how you're going to bounce back from it. So we'll see. I do like the Vikings to see where they kind of present themselves towards the middle of the season, because I just don't know if they're built to last. That's my biggest thing with the Vikings as of right now. Like JJ is going to be JJ. Like Jay Jettas is him. Like so, it's for him. Will he have a quarterback to make it happen? So that's
you got two JJs. You're
right. So, like I said, it'll be a big factor. So we'll see.
So we could do like I got some a little like
hit some stuff. Hit some.
What do you think about Denver and the Giants? Those are two teams that kind of, I mean, the Giants were worse than Denver last year, but do you think they kind of step it up this year? Those are two teams I feel like could really like step it up this year.
If there's anybody to kind of put KC to a point where they're struggling, it's going to be Denver, because I think they have the pieces to kind of keep up with Denver on both sides of the ball.
You mean the Chiefs? Keep up with the Chiefs on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, I'm saying Denver has the pieces to keep up with the Chiefs, yes. So with regards to that, now it's, again, Sean Payton has always been a great coach. Yeah. So it's like, it's year 2 or 3 for him up in Denver. I think it's 2. I think it's year 2. Yeah, it's 2. So it's like, for him, he's probably just feeling good now about where he's got, because it's his team. Like, everybody on that roster.
It's got to be 3.
It's got to be 3?
Yeah,
okay, so even better.
Russell Wilson year, and then he left and went to the Steelers.
And last year he had Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, so that makes it even better. Yeah, it makes it, because now I know, as the head coach and brother, Sean Payton, he will have it all together now. So it's like, for him, he's going to be one of those guys where I have faith in Bo. I have faith in our offensive line. Our defense has gotten way better. I built this team up these last few years. Now we're good to make a run. So if there is going to be a year, I truly believe that this will probably be it. Like, this will be the one to kind of bump the Chiefs. Maybe not beat them, but like put pressure on them with regards to that.
I don't think that they'll like.
No, they're not going to that. I think they'll catch them 1-1 throughout the year. So I think they'll catch them at 1.
I think it'll be more competitive of a division this year,
for sure,
more than it has been in recent years.
Agreed.
Even the Raiders too, but I think that the Denver has a better shot.
I think
the Dolphins.
Oh,
you think? I have a strange feeling. I don't, because I work there, and I like it when it's busy.
Right.
I don't like when people are drunk and they can't figure out their tickets, and then they think that I'm just some magical wizard, and they don't have to give me any information at all, and I just present them.
Yep,
but I have a strange feeling the Dolphins are going to be bad.
You think bad?
I think they're going to be bad.
Bad because
I think they're going to have a down year.
Where were they last year? Honestly, I'm not a Dolphin fan, so I couldn't even tell you what they were last year. Were they 500?
I don't even know.
Like, I truly do not remember what the Dolphins did last year once they had that whole
Tua thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, for me,
they went 8-9, which is what I was going to say, but that would have been a guess.
Okay, so
but they
8 and
finished
9
second in the division at 8-9.
But
it was the Bills division.
Jets suck, and
right. So let's combine all of them. Out of the Jets, the Patriots, and the Dolphins, who do you think is going to be the best? Or who do you think is going to be over 500 this year? Because none of them were last year. I mean, if I'm going to take the Patriots.
I was going to say, if I'm going to put money, it'll be the Patriots because Variable has that shit going already. You can kind of see glimpses of it in the preseason game, which, again, I take those glimpses with a grain of salt, even in preseason. So you're just kind of guessing still at that point. But my biggest thing is Variable has the best momentum, I guess I would say, with regards to team, aspirations, youth. You're not too worried about your offensive line. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd agree with you as to who has the best. But again, what is your... Is it a gut feeling more so than anything that the Dolphins are not going to be that good, or is it just something you kind of noticed throughout like this last month and a half of preseason / camp?
I haven't really watched a lot of preseason Dolphins stuff, camp stuff. But just the fact that 2 years ago they made the playoffs and there was a lot of hype, and then last year there was hype going into the season, and then obviously some unfortunate things happened to Tua.
Right.
But that kind of derailed their season last year, and I think that they're still kind of trying to pick the pieces back up. So it could go either way, but I just think that they're not going to be like as good. And I feel like they had some key departures as well. Huge. So it's just not.
Well, they're in a tough division. I mean, they're not truly in a division that is just to give up. Like, they're gonna have to play the Jets hard. They're gonna have to play the Bills super hard.
I'm not sold on the Jets either.
Yeah, the Jets. I don't know what they're doing up there. Justin Fields has so much to prove to me.
But the Jets have a good team, though. Like overall, defense is good. And the offense, they have some pieces. I mean, Garrett Wilson. It's not just him.
Right. But he does get the double coverage. He does get the ability to get somebody else open in per se. So, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I have any gut feeling towards the Dolphins season. I think the locker room still has to shake out, because even my guys, Jalen Phillips and Quentin Bell, like my boys over there, like I know they're studs. I know they can play ball. Like I know, they lost Jalen last year, and they lost Chubbs last year. So it's like, the Dolphins truly had a terrible way to. I mean, obviously injuries are the worst way to go down, but it's like that plus all the locker room stuff, and it's like, how much worse of a situation can Coach McDaniels have to kind of... He is a rah guy, I guess I would say. Like, his antics are kind of like weird, and a
lot of fanfare,
a lot of stuff, like his conversations to reporters are memes across the board, but it's like some of the players love that. Like they think he's a weirdo, and they love it, and they think that's just his genuine personality, and they know who he is as a coach, which is half the time that's what a player wants, is just a genuine coach. Like, be a weirdo if you're going to be a weirdo. Don't try to be a friend of mine just because we're on the same. Like, if you're going to be like this, be like this. Like, be my coach, or be
family.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of that is kind of a good sign to me. But yeah, I think the locker room itself, after what Tua said and how he presented the Tyreek situation, I just hope the inside scoop of the locker room gets a lot better. And then kind of, that's the first domino. Once the locker room gets better, on the field gets better. Once on the field gets better, the team starts getting better. Then we start making plays, then we start winning. And then everything kind of falls into place once that starts happening. So once
it could go either way.
Right,
exactly. It could go either way.
Especially with the personalities that they have. And this is any NFL locker room. There's all kinds of personalities. So how those personalities mesh, that's half the battle right there. You can't, I think coach for the Steelers, Tomlin, I think he said it best. Like, he's got 53 different personalities that he has to, mesh with and and control and be the coach it is. And he knows they don't always match and they don't always work. So it's like he needs to find the best combination. And he says it all the time, the best combo to get from the locker room to the field to play the best.
Right.
I mean, that is about as good as it can, that is probably one of the best descriptions I've ever heard.
Right.
So, and that makes sense to me. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting NFL season. I think it's going to be one of the better ones in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of youth, a lot of people coming up. And, a lot of these guys will be a lot of money years coming up. A lot of money is going to be on the table.
Right.
Looking at it like a Micah Parsons, stuff like that as well. So, we will see.
Let's switch gears to college. The top 25 came out today.
Yep.
First one of the year.
Interesting. Pretty interesting, I would say.
Who's
your biggest shell shocker? Yeah, I was going to say, who's your biggest shell shocker on there?
Illinois at 12?
Yeah. Everyone's saying that. Everyone's saying that Illinois is something special. I know they got X Scott up there from down here. He's
That's
legit.
Great. Notre Dame at 6. Ohio State, who'd they lose?
Will Howard, Jack Sawyer.
All right.
They lost some key pieces.
That makes sense. Kansas State 17.
That's just a gimme. That's just one of those. Oh, Kansas State because they finished the year off strong, like won a bowl game, I think.
Boise State at 25 was obviously a
another gimme. Yeah, another gimme. I mean,
the first
you have your quarterback. You have your quarterback returning. You got a majority of your offense. Right. Besides, obviously, the biggest piece of it.
Yeah,
but you do have
offense.
Yeah, like the offense, but you still have a lot of it returning. So I can give them the benefit of the doubt for right now. Obviously,
Florida at 15.
If DJ Lagway is healthy, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, Miami's what, 10?
Yeah.
10. Yeah. So it's like
just because of what, Carson Beck.
Well, I mean,
they have a team.
Yeah, I would more so lean that their defense replenished more so than anything, and then their offense, because their offense, even when you look at Restrepo and stuff like that, I consider him a huge piece. That they, obviously he graduated, but like I consider Restrepo a huge piece of the offense that they're just not going to have back. And I know they have Malachi Toney and stuff from some of the guys that they have got from up in the rankings and everything, but from down here. But even still, I mean, at this point, to see where Miami sits compared to Florida, I mean, I guess they're going to rank them higher because they beat them last year. But there's no Cam Ward, and I don't truly know what ended up happening with Carson Beck at Georgia to make me want to leave. It couldn't have been money. So I don't know. It's a weird situation, and I think the biggest knock so far on Cristobal has been the offense not just being up to par. So and then obviously the defense choking in the end. So those can be two things that Coach Cristobal knocks out of the park this year, and just say, hey, look what I did 2 years in a row. Got Cam Ward, got Carson Beck, boom, boom, and that's how we do it.
Right.
So it's like two things that they can do. Let me see real quick. Let me see. I want to see my biggest shocker.
Clemson at 4. That's another one. That's a picture.
Yep. So I think Tennessee in there at 24. I don't know. I mean, what do they got? I don't even think why in the top 25. What do they got coming back? Nico's gone. They got multiple guys, offense and defense.
That is true. Yeah.
I don't really know.
Another gimme then, I guess. Yeah. Again, it's the first week. It's like
Texas Tech. Like truly, I don't know.
When does it actually start changing? Because it doesn't change after the first week.
No, it doesn't change till the
week 4.
Week 4, something like that. Yeah. So again, my biggest thing out of this list is even a Clemson at number 4. Like, I don't know if and not to say I don't give respect to Cade and coming back and a lot of that defense, but like in the ACC, who do they play? You're gonna say
UNC,
but you're gonna say UNC only because of who?
Miami. Oh, because of Belichick.
Yeah, I don't think Clemson. I don't even know if Clemson plays Miami this year.
I could find that.
I was gonna say I don't know, but anyways, I'm just saying from an ACC perspective, if Clemson loses to any of those teams, like they play LSU week 1, so they better not lose. Because if they lose that game, then
yeah, they play.
Oh, they do. Are they at Miami's at Clemson?
Let's see.
Miami has to be at Clemson.
They play LSU twice?
No, that's probably
Oh,
just
my bad.
yeah.
Georgia Tech is a decent ACC team. I feel like every year.
Yeah.
SMU?
But who does SMU have coming back? They don't have anybody this year.
Nobody, but
yeah.
they had money. So
Yeah, of course, everybody. I mean, well, now when you look at have you seen like UNLV's roster? It's like every ex 5-star from like the last 3 years. Like
the unctions.
Like literally, like Alec Orji.
They don't play.
That's what I thought. I was gonna say. I think I would have, because I would have asked Jacoby if he wanted to go to that game. Yeah, for sure. So
it's just because it's seeing them.
Yeah. No, I get that. But,
AI.
Yeah, AI. But I don't know. I mean, college. I think I'm most interested to see how this year plans out, because I think what's going to happen is after this year, between the money, the amount of money like Texas Tech has spent, Texas A&M, it's going to really say who's worth what money, and how these teams are going to go about the next transfer portal and the next era.
They'll get better at it.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
But if some of these guys that are getting paid millions choke, aka a Carson Beck, it's going to be a dark day for
the donors
players like that. Yeah, players like that and donors like that. Because I can tell you this much,
they're not going to want to pay for the name anymore.
Right. They're going to want to say, I mean, not to say, okay, Carson Beck had,
okay, yeah, sure.
He had the accolades to go with it for the money side. But even still, we are still saying that, like, you left Georgia to go to Miami. Where's the logic in that? I guess is my mindset towards it. Because it's
money and the fact that he's old. He
had money. Or he had money. He's like, that money.
What was the quarterback before? Stetson Bennett?
Well,
he's nowhere to be found. He's nowhere to be found now.
Stetson was on. I mean, he was old as hell.
That's what I'm saying. Carson Beck's old as hell.
I know, but I'm saying even Stetson was older than him, and Stetson was a 2-time national champ, back to back.
And he's vanished now.
Right, so he's on the Rams practice squad, but still, I mean,
but that's why I'm saying, like, if I'm Carson Beck and Georgia wasn't paying me that money,
you can't choke. Right, like that's the one, because what's gonna happen is
speeding tickets either.
Yeah, that too, or getting your car jacked. But that's Miami, so you're gonna take that risk every day, anyways. But I think the biggest factor with all of this is those kids that did get paid to be at the school that they're at, if they suck, which in college is very, very plausible. Not to say that they suck, to say that they don't live up to the $3 million that they are getting paid. They are going to use that as a leverage point for the next guy who thinks they deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, we want to pay you this much money. We can't because such and such screwed it up last year. So now we can only pay you this much because that's the amount of money we're allotted for this position.
Uh-huh.
Boom.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Welcome to the business, baby. So
save that money.
Yeah, well, that, and it's go prove it. Prove that you're worth more.
No, 100%.
So it's going to be a tough one. I think this year's college football season has a lot more on the line than most people realize. Like, I truly believe,
on the business side.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this season plays out to be a lot bigger than what most normal college fans go to actually see in their future of college rosters. So, to me, at this point, what happens these next, week 0 is what, 2 weeks away? So after that week, and the real season starts week 1 with Ohio State at Texas. As soon as that happens,
got a friend back there.
Yeah, as soon as that happens, we will literally see where we're going in this season.
Can't wait.
Archie Manning, and Jeremiah Smith putting on.
Good.
So we play his alma mater on Thursday, so that'll be a good one. But yeah, well, I'll wrap it up for the night.
Sports.
Yeah, football, baby.
Football.
We are back. We are truly back.
How to do the football special.
Yep.
How to get it in.
Now we're here now. So it's week 2 of preseasons, 7 games live this week.
It's gonna get cold out soon, maybe.
Yeah, not down here, but
not down here. We'll see you in
December.
January for that.
December
for
to January.
2 weeks.
Yep. So, but we will be back. We're gonna start bringing more guests on as well. We have our other NIL coordinator / podcast coordinator now joining us, Kat. She will be with us starting 2 weeks from now, and she will be our what's her name from First Take?
Molly from
First Take. She'll be our mediator, try to keep us on track and make sure that we hit all the topics of discussion that we've talked about throughout the week prior so we don't get off topic and go on our rants about a bunch of stuff you guys don't want to hear. So, Kat will be with us to handle that part of our business on this side, and we will look forward to having her join us on a weekly basis. And we will go from there. But thank you for watching another episode of No Client Agent Privilege, aka No Cap Podcast. Your boy Will, your boy Evan, and we are out.
Peace.